Kavar and Zez-Kai Ell were Jedi Masters and High Council members during the Mandalorian Wars, who were amongst those who decided to exile Meetra Surik. After being personally asked by Malak, and feeling compassion towards those who lost their lives, Meetra decided to join Revan's army against the Mandalorian forces and Mandalore the Ultimate. She eventually rose to the position of general, and she was integral in the defeat of the Mandalorians. However, during the Battle of Malachor V, the final battle of the Mandalorian Wars, she realized that Revan's forces would not reach the planet in time. So she decided to activate the Mass Shadow Generator, destabilizing the planet and destroying the Mandalorian and Republic forces. This caused a wound in the Force, which would have killed Meetra if she hadn't severed her connection to the Force immediately. Because of this, and her actions during the Battle of Malachor V, she could no longer hear the calling of the Force, and she was permanently exiled from the Jedi Order. After the Jedi Civil War and the First Jedi Purge, both Kavar and Kai Ell went into exile, but still helped the galaxy in their own ways. Kavar went to Onderon to advise Queen Talia against the forces of General Vaklu, while Zez went to Nar Shaddaa, where he hoped to escape the persecution of the Jedi. The Jedi exile found both masters, recruited them to her cause, and met them all, including Master Vrook Lamar, on Dantooine's Jedi Enclave. Kavar, Zez, and Vrook spoke with the Jedi exile, and they decided that she was too powerful for the galaxy's own good. The Masters decided to strip her of the Force. However, before they could finish, Kreia interrupted the meeting, and without hesitation, she used Force Drain on all three Jedi Masters, leaving them dead and drained of the Force. She wanted them to see what the exile once saw: complete and utter darkness. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is ForklifterMatt, and today I will be analyzing Jedi Masters Kavar and Zez-Kai Ell. Thank you all so much for being very patient while I make more videos. I hope you guys enjoy the latest installment of my Versus series, Kavar vs. Zez-Kai Ell. Kavar was an exceptional duelist, and a master of Form 7 Juyo, Form 6 Naiman, Form 5 Xian, Form 4 Taru, and he had also mastered Jar Kai dual blade fencing. Master Kavar was a famed Jedi Guardian, though it is stated in the KOTOR 2 Prima Guide that the other masters, Vrook and Zez, were considered more skilled in martial arts than Kavar. However, the Mandalorians still thought that Kavar would be the Jedi Master leading the Jedi forces against them, and not Revan. Zez-Kai Ell was a skilled lightsaber duelist who was a master of Form 4 Taru and Form 5 Xian. He was also considered a virtuoso of martial arts, a specialist in melee combat, a powerful lightsaber combatant, and Zez was even considered above Master Kavar in this field. Form 7 Juyo, the Ferocity form, was the most aggressive form of lightsaber combat, and was used to completely overwhelm enemies with its unrelenting fury and its vicious grace. Form 6 Naiman, the Moderation form, was the jack of all trade forms, taking aspects from most other forms, but never specializing in a specific characteristic. It was a balanced hybrid of all other forms, and some practitioners of Naiman even incorporated Zez-Kai dual blade fencing, or their force abilities, into their lightsaber strikes. Form 5 Xian, the Perseverance form, was well adapted to guard against blaster fire, could provide a strong defense as well as a powerful offense, and could be used to precisely hit an opponent's blade. Form 4 Taru, the Aggression form, was a very physical form, relying on the user's ability to jump, run, and spin with the force, for both offense and defense. It featured stylish blade work, was weaker against multiple opponents and blaster wielders, and Ataru was capable of striking opponents from multiple fronts. It is my belief that Kavar would use the best elements of each form he mastered to adapt to each duel he faced, and what specific combatant he was fighting. I came to this conclusion because it seemed only likely that a master of 4 different forms of lightsaber combat with an exceptional resume and incredible hype behind his name would use all forms in different situations. It is also my belief that Zez-Kai Ell would use and combine elements from both of his mastered forms in specific situations. However, this is only my speculation, as we haven't actually seen Kavar nor Zez-Kai Ell in an actual duel. What we do have, though, are incredible accolades of these 2 Jedi Masters mastering several different forms, as well as having great martial arts cred behind their names. In terms of physical abilities, Kavar wasn't anything special, but considering the fact that he has mastered 2 of the most aggressive forms of lightsaber combat, it's fair to assume he's very physically fit. And Zez-Kai Ell is hardly any different physically than Kavar. In terms of their weaponry and equipment, Kavar wielded a standard blue lightsaber in his right hand, and a blue Shoto blade in his left. The Shoto blade offers him another blade and more options in combat, while Zez-Kai Ell wielded a standard double-bladed purple lightsaber, again giving Zez an extra blade, and it can do more damage than a standard single-bladed lightsaber. However, the saber staff is less precise, takes longer to maneuver, and it's harder to master than the conventional lightsaber. With that being said, Zez is a master of martial arts, and he's well versed in a fast form and a very precise form, so I don't necessarily think that those difficulties would hinder his dueling abilities. Kavar and Zez-Kai Ell both have mastered several different lightsaber forms, have impressive accolades and titles behind their names, and are near equals in martial arts, physical abilities, and their weaponry and equipment. What really separates the 2 is Zez-Kai Ell being canonically above Kavar in martial arts. Zez was stated to be a lightsaber virtuoso over Master Kavar, and he was stated as being a melee combat specialist and a powerful lightsaber duelist. While they are equals in almost every category in this broad subject, I have to award the ever so slight edge to Zez-Kai Ell in martial arts, physical abilities, and weaponry and equipment. Kavar is said to possess extremely potent force powers, and he has mastered several different force techniques. Amongst his mastered skills were force speed, force stun, telekinesis, telepathy, force sense, and his most radical and powerful ability, force sever. Zez-Kai Ell was primarily a martial artist, but he was still well versed in multiple force abilities, much like Kavar, including telekinesis, telepathy, force sense, and of course, force sever. Kavar was able to casually and simultaneously stun 5 of Vaklu's men without even gesturing, and was able to keep them stunned for at least 30 seconds. All 3 Jedi Masters, Vrook, Zez, and Kavar, were able to telekinetically rebuild the Jedi Temple on Dantooine within a couple of days. Though this is only my speculation, as we haven't actually had confirmation of this feat, but it's impressive nonetheless. Zez was also able to open a blast door without even gesturing, pushing Hanhar inside, who later appeared with near-fatal injuries in the arena. Both Kavar and Zez were amongst those who wiped and reprogrammed Revan's mind to have a new identity, and to turn against his own allies. It is also suggested by the official Prima Guide that Zez-Kai Ell can shrug off mind-affecting abilities. Vrook also stated that he, Kavar, and Zez all had the power to perform Force Sever on the Jedi Exile, cutting her ties to the Force. Kavar and Zez-Kai Ell both had mastered similar Force abilities, and were on the same level in terms of power and versatility. While Kavar has better accolades in this category, I hesitate to give him the edge over Zez, for just one accolade in his favor. And Zez-Kai Ell has shown us that he is as capable as Kavar in this field. He has shown great power with his telekinetic abilities, and his defensive abilities when it comes to mind-altering powers. No edge will be given in Force abilities. And now for the verdict. Kavar and Zez would start off their ferocious duel by displaying their martial arts prowess, featuring stylish blade work, vicious grace, and precision. They would match each other blow for blow, much like Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar, occasionally integrating various physical and Force abilities into their lightsaber strikes. Zez would show a slight advantage in his dueling abilities early on in the duel, while they would be dead even in Force abilities, exchanging telekinetic pushes, mind-altering abilities, and defensive powers, neither showing a clear edge over the other. However, after a long, brutal duel, one Jedi Master would show a slight advantage in his martial arts prowess. Although bruised and bloodied, Zez-Kai Ell would come through victorious. I declare Zez-Kai Ell, by a slim margin, the victor. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for your patience. I had a lot of fun with this matchup, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much, and may the Force be with you. Always.